Okay. So now we're going to be looking at subscapularis. Open your hand, relax. Open your hand, relax. So as I work, I still extend more of the meridians in the arm that are blocked by the condition. And now I'll try to zoom in a bit. I'll try to take this. Maybe I have massage stuff on my hand. It doesn't work. No, I don't know. I'll try, Cherie. I'll try. Well, we'll figure it out later. Okay, right now I'm just going to do it.
I got a microphone
Okay, that's fine. Right here is the plexus. You have to avoid the nerves. Okay, so you're going to hit the plexus, and this is right where the tricep meridian hits. The tricep attaches to the scapula, and if you palpate, you can feel tightened tissue all throughout the subscapular tissue. So what I'm doing is I'm going to ask her to pull her shoulder blades backward, and I want you to push your head back barely, and I want you to straighten this arm and turn your wrist. Turn your wrist and turn your wrist again. 1, inhale, 2, exhale, 3. Lift your hand up high, hand up, head up high, and drop. Now I'm going to rotate her gently. I'm going to rotate her gently, and the reason is this again, the joint must move. The joint must move. Lift your hand up high, drop. And as I push up here on the acromoid, I'm actually pushing the tissue that's tightened. Let's see if I mess that up. No. Lift your arm up high, drop. I'm pushing with my finger into the soft tissue on the top of the shoulder joint. Lift your hand up high, drop. So three-dimensionally, I'm pushing at the bottom, I'm pushing at the top. And so I'm pulling over the soft tissue of the actual acromoid tissue and the scapula on the upper part of the joint. Lift your hand up high. Push me, turn your wrist, drop. And again, I'm assisting further movement into the joint. So I'm going to rotate her hand, I'm going to rotate her arm, rotate her hand, rotate her arm, lift your hand up high, drop. And I'm feeling as I moved, and she could verify this, it would be hard to actually convey this, but you can feel the things popping and loosening. All the soft tissue loosens, all of the connective tissue and the fascia that is involved is intelligent tissue, and so if you leave any of it compressed, you're going to have a hard time getting any of the energy to flow. So we're actually helping the energy to flow. Again, I'm doing a rotation of the hand. I'm pulling back gently. I'm breaking loose the compression that's in that joint of the wrist, the carpal bones, and the fingers. And this is so important for arthritic symptoms. When people come in with their hands all distorted with arthritis, it's actually going through the entire shoulder, so rubbing the hand is not sufficient. It's going to require opening up the energy and the energies of the entire body. Lift your hand up high, drop, starting with the shoulder. Lift your hand up high, drop, because the shoulder is the critical point of chi, the critical point of chi, of compression. Lift your hand up high. That causes people to suffer. So, and how many people that come and have pectoralis compression that have arthritic hands? You can just about write the book and say, here it is. It's starting with pectoralis. It's starting with upper rib and rib compressions. It's starting with this nerve, the brachial plexus being compressed, and the heart meridian, pericardial meridians, the large intestine meridians. Lift your hand up high. Drop. All of these being affected, and the arm. Lift your arm up. And I don't know if that was an audible pop. The joint is opening up. And I am taking my thumb and I'm breaking loose the compression of the actual bicep itself. Lift your hand. And I know that was more of the actual bursa moving versus moving, hands moving, versus moving, hands moving. Keeping in mind, again, this is critical point, critical point, critical point. These things have to be opened. Fingers up, drop. And it's like putting WD-40 on a rusty hinge and working the hinge back and forth. Fingers up, drop. It is a nice feeling as you feel these joints opening, these pisiform, even the pisiform, if you see my thumb going through, I'm hitting that pisiform and hitting the ulnar tissues as well. Open your hand. So that ultimately that these muscles can unlock. And it makes it much better for a chiropractor that wants to adjust somebody or any kind of desired results coming out of surgery, even a person that's had surgery or it's had an injury. Lift your arm up. Oftentimes, the very thing that's causing all of the problems comes from pectoralis minor. And if it was in the earlier part of the video, you would have noticed this was much tighter. And she can lift her hand easily, lift your hand up high and demonstrate. And it's lighter and easier to move. And so therefore, you can actually palpate and tell. As you palpate, feeling three-dimensionally through the objects here, you can feel exactly what tissues in the pec are still involved and what possible rib compressions might be available to release the muscle problem in. So we're working this out as we go. We're getting to this point of completion. Starting to shut it off, and it didn't shut off. Go. Must be the oil on my hand. It won't move. I'll try wiping it. Sure, I don't know what it's doing. It won't shut off. Here, you try. It must be my oily finger. Wouldn't shut off. Here, see if you can see. Must be my oily finger. I bet you anything it's a oily finger that it's causing it to have issue.